All right, so we don't have any attendees who've joined in. I am gonna post the happening now posts on Facebook and LinkedIn and see what happens. If not, shall we just run through it and I'll record it, and then that way we can use it for the future? Sounds good. Perfect.
I don't know if you could hear me, but I said it sounds like a plan.
Perfect. So give me 2 minutes, and so I can do those posts, and then we can start. Okay. I think I'm ready to start. All right, so good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this virtual information session. This session will talk about MEMPC programs that are offered online, as well as our distance learning options. We have the 5 universities presenting today: Cornell, Duke, Johns Hopkins, Tufts, and USC. This is our agenda for today. So I want to talk a little bit about MEMPC, and then each of the programs will give an overview about their MEM program, and then we'll have the questions at the end. So if you could just hold your questions towards the end, that would be great. Also, just a few rules. I have each participant is muted upon arrival, at least when you join the meeting. And so if you have a question at the end, you can either use the raise your hands feature and then I can unmute you and you can ask your question, or you can type it in the chat box and I can read out the question for you. So thank you again for your interest, and let's learn a little bit more about MEMPC. MEMPC stands for Master of Engineering Management Programs Consortium. As you can see, we have some of the highest ranked universities that offer engineering management programs as a part of the consortium. One of our primary objectives is to work together and promote engineering management programs to students, prospective students like you, and to organizations. And we believe that we help engineers develop into business-savvy technology leaders. So we are super excited to talk to you about our various program options. With that, let's start this webinar. And first up is Cornell, and we have Lisa Gerber from Cornell University talking us through their MEM program. Go, Lisa.
Sure, thanks, Ritu. Hi, everyone. My name is Lisa Gerber. I am the program manager for the engineering management program here at Cornell. I'm going to jump in and give you a program snapshot. This program is a 2-year part-time distance learning program. Fall 2020 will be the first year for our distance learning option. Our on-campus engineering management program is over 30 years old. We're accepting 30 to 40 students this year, and the deadline to apply is March 1st, 2020, but our admissions are rolling and we're encouraging people to apply early. Next slide. So this program is for engineers who want to be leaders in engineering and not leave engineering. It's for those who want to further build upon their strong core technical depth as engineers and also enhance it with business and leadership skills. The program is both online and asynchronous over 2 years to allow students to continue working full-time. We also have a 1-week intensive on campus in Ithaca, New York each year. Next slide. So what does this look like? I have 2 screenshots to give you an example of our asynchronous platform. When you log in, you'll see the lessons and modules that you need to complete. Each video here is under 10 minutes, and you can pause, restart, or watch them multiple times. You'll also see assignments, discussion topics, and tools developed specifically for the course. There's also a lot of interaction with your cohort that's built into this platform. Next slide. I'll move on to our 3 main focus areas for the degree program. The first is lead people. Whether it's learning project leadership or project management, we work with you to amplify your project management skills and also learn how to manage high performance and high velocity teams. The second core focus area is further advancing your business. This can be through data analytics or decision analytics and gives you skills, tools, and techniques to take your current work at your organization and really bring it to the next level. And third, disrupting your fields. We want you to use design thinking and learn to manage a culture of innovation or explore intrapreneurship or entrepreneurship. Our goal is to give you the skills to be technical leader at the forefront of your area. Next slide. This is our sample curriculum timeline. After you are admitted in the spring, you'll complete your first online course through the platform I just showed in the last slide in Python. In August 2020, you'll come to campus to meet your cohort and take classes. From there, you will progress through a series of required classes and electives. Our program is unique in that these courses are also offered at the same time on campus, so our faculty and teaching staff will essentially be teaching 2 cohorts, one through our distance learning platform and one in Ithaca. It really enhances the experience for both groups, and we're also thinking about ways to have the 2 groups work together on projects and to interact. Next slide. Another strength of our program is our alumni network. Our alumni are active and global. We're proud to count the founders of Wayfair and John Zimmer of Lyft as alumni. Our alumni partner with us in a number of ways. They often give talks or seminars in the department. They connect students with people in their field of interest, and they partner with us to create capstone projects, which are also part of the distance learning program. Next slide. Here's a slide with our admissions requirements. To apply, you need to have an undergraduate degree in engineering or a related field like computer science, physics, or math. We're requiring at least 2 years of professional work experience. You need to submit a statement of purpose and a resume. GRE scores are optional for our program. We also need transcripts from your undergraduate institution, a professional writing sample, which can just be a technical report, and a combination of 3 letters of recommendation. Next slide. I'll end with a couple of FAQs about the Cornell Distance Learning Program. There's a lot more information on our website, but one of the questions that we've been hearing a lot is what the typical student looks like for our DL program. Since this is our first time offering it as a distance learning program, I'll speak about our pool of applicants and prospective students. On average, they have 8 years of work experience and are from both large and small companies. They are engineers and STEM professionals who are investing in their professional development and looking to take the next step in their career or move into a new position. The next question is, does the degree or transcript reflect that this was a distance learning degree? And the answer to that is no. This is a Cornell MEM degree, and it doesn't differ from the on-campus degree in any way. What's the total cost of the program? Tuition is charged on a per credit basis for students and is $2,356 degrees per credit for the 2019-2020 academic year. So over the course of the 30 credit program, this is about $71,000. And then the last question here is, can I take more than 2 years to finish the degree? So yes, but what I'll say is that we recommend completing the degree as outlined in that sample timeline. We're really interested in building a cohort of students who are taking courses together. And for the required courses, students would have to wait until the course is offered again, and that could be a full year later. Next slide. So this is it for me. Again, I want to thank you for being on this webinar. I hope you consider applying for our program. If you want to know more about engineering management at Cornell, you can email me, attend an upcoming info session, or schedule a one-on-one meeting with me on my Calendly page. So thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. And just as a note that I'll be sending these slides out to all the attendees, so you will have everybody's contact information with you. All right, next up we have Duke, and we have Latondra Murray from Duke presenting. Hi, Latondra.
Hi there, Ritu. Thank you so much. Happy to be here. So we can get started with the next slide. This is all about choosing your path. So there are 5 reasons that we would outline to join Duke's online MEM program. And by the way, I'm Dr. Latondra Murray. I'm the Director for Online and Distance Education. Super excited to get started. Didn't introduce myself. I am the director of the program, and there are 5 reasons that we would really articulate as being key for connecting with our distributed MEM program, Master of Engineering Management program. 1, we leverage a cohort model, which we think is really important. We've got a compelling curriculum, engaging residencies, flexible options for your course of study, and online asynchronous delivery, which can match your desire to integrate work and life. Next slide, please. So Duke as a university is ranked as among one of the best globally, highly ranked in a number of areas. There are 15,000 students at the institution, 6,500 undergrads, 8,500 graduate students, and we have 10 schools and colleges. Likewise, the Pratt School of Engineering is one of the fastest rising of the top engineering schools. We were ranked as the top 30 in US News and World Report, and we have, again, a very dynamic community, not only of graduate students and undergrads, but over almost 14,000 Pratt alumni and 170,000 Duke alumni worldwide. Next slide, please. So I wanted to talk a bit about the cohort model that we leverage at Duke. So we believe it's really important to have a group of individuals who can support and sustain each other moving forward. So we typically have 25 to 30 students in each entering cohort. This is a collection of like-minded professionals who are eager to up-level their career. And it's about studying, but it's also about cultivating a personal community of support. And so these are shots that are literally taken from some of our cohorts over the years. Their connection has persisted not only through their time at Duke, but well beyond. Next slide, please. So the DMEP program was established in 2009, so our program has been around for 10 years. We likewise have a campus offering. The campus program was established in 1997, so 22 years of experience with that campus program. And so when we look at our online offering, the program typically is completed in 24 months or 2 years, very flexible. We have students who complete the program in 3 years, even 4 years if needed. But the idea is we ultimately want our students to be successful. So I'd say 85 to 90% of the students finish in 2 years, but if there's a need to flex in some way, that is a possibility. We've got a highly integrated curriculum, which I'll talk about in just a minute. And then we also have dedicated staff to focus on both career and professional development. We have career and student services staff who support our distant students. I serve as the advisor, and so it's great to have that team to connect with the students from beginning through end. Next slide, please. So I'd like to speak a bit about the curriculum. So the curriculum is composed of 4 components. Essentially, we're delivering a prepared suite of coursework in technology management. We have 4 core management classes: marketing, management, law, and finance. 4 electives, which span a very broad range of topics. There is a project experience, essentially a project that is selected from the student's workplace that's examined in the context of engineering management principles. And then we offer 3 residencies. In terms of choosing the track that a student can focus on, there are a number of tracks, and we've recently revisited these. So you can see the list here: customer experience and product design, data analytics, operations and supply chain, product management, technology development and commercialization. We also offer a build your own. So from a flexibility perspective, this is really where that comes in. We really ultimately want students to design a collection of electives that will serve their needs most effectively. And for working professionals, there is often this notion of knowing where one needs to focus to serve the organization, but also to support future growth. So that's our curriculum. Let me speak a bit more now about the residencies. Next slide, please. So we offer 3 residencies as a part of our 2-year program. The residencies are a powerful opportunity to connect with peers, faculty, and staff in immersive experiences on campus. The first residency is called Foundations, that occurs in August before the first year. Explorations is our second residency. It occurs in the middle of the program after the first year is complete. And then Reflections is our third and final residency. It occurs in May and leads right into graduation. And the idea here is that we really want students to feel not only connected to Duke and to Durham, but also to each other. And so this is a fantastic way for our students to meet each other, to establish relationships that can ease the process of connecting in classes and collaborating going forward. Next slide, please. So the application requirements are outlined here. We require a bachelor's degree in engineering or science from an accredited institution. It's an online application that must be completed. We also ask for a resume, a statement of purpose, 3 letters of recommendation, and GRE scores. In some cases, the GRE can be waived, and so that's something that we can provide more information about if it's relevant. We've got a $75 application fee, and we also require an interview. We have deadlines. We offer admission in both fall and spring terms, and so you can see the deadlines for fall. We've got 3 rounds of admission leading to the fall semester, and then 2 rounds leading to the spring per the deadlines provided there. Next slide, please. And then just to wrap up, again, I'm Dr. Latondra Murray. I'm the Director for Online and Distance Programs. You can reach me directly at my email address. I do offer exploratory conversations via Zoom. And so if you'd like to connect via email or to set up an exploratory, please reach out. You can also find more information about our program and all of the details regarding coursework. We have an extensive FAQ that you can review as well. You can go to this URL and check us out. Thanks so much.
Perfect. Thank you, Latondra. Moving straight on, I think next up is Johns Hopkins, and we have Rick Blank, who is the program coordinator and instructor, talking us through.
Thank you. Are you an early to mid-career scientist or engineer, balancing commitments between your full-time job and your family, and wondering how to fit in pursuit of your master's degree? I am Rick Blank, program coordinator and instructor in the Johns Hopkins Engineering for Professionals Master of Engineering Management program, and I may have the answer for you. Next slide, please. Our engineering management degree is offered through the Engineering for Professionals program, a division within the Johns Hopkins Whiting School of Engineering. Over 4,400 part-time students pursue degrees in 21 engineering fields, including 250 students in engineering management. Our programs are taught by working professionals for working professionals. They provide you the opportunity to complete your master's degree part-time, completely online, and from anywhere in the world. All you need is an internet connection. Our degree is academically rigorous, similar to on-campus residential programs, but with courses specifically designed for the working professional that enhance your knowledge and build the essential skills to help you excel in your career. While our engineering management program is available online, by using current distance technologies, our instructors also engage with you in real time, including team-based projects and seminar-type discussions. And you will be taking classes from a top-ranked program. U.S. News ranks Johns Hopkins 14th in the nation for online engineering master's degrees, and our engineering management program is ranked in the top 5 by bestcolleges.com, thebestschools.com, and collegechoice.com. Next slide, please. So how does the program work? You will take 10 courses and have 5 years to complete the program. Courses are offered all 3 semesters throughout the year, so most students complete in approximately 3.5 years. You design your learning experience with a program of study that includes 5 management courses particularly relevant to leading projects and people in technical organizations, and 5 courses from your chosen specialty track. Class size ranges from 5 to 19, with a typical online class of 12 students and 2 co-instructors. Next slide, please. Your 5 core engineering management courses build the fundamental skills to lead projects, people, and strategy. Next chart, please. Then, tailor the balance of the program specifically for you by choosing 5 courses from a specialty track aligned with your interest, your organization, and your industry. The 13 technical specialties are preferred for the individual contributor or functional manager who wants to further develop a mix of management and technical skills while enhancing your ability to supervise technical personnel. And in fall of 2020, we will be adding tracks for data science, systems engineering, and space systems engineering. Our program has an additional specialty track, technical management leadership, designed for those pursuing a career in systems acquisition, systems development, or a design build domain as a product line manager, project manager, program manager, or aspirations for general management. Next slide, please. Admissions include 3 general requirements: have a bachelor's degree from an accredited college or university, have a grade point average of at least 3.0 in the latter half of your undergraduate studies, and official transcripts from your college or university. Note that GRE scores are not required. In addition, to be accepted into the Engineering for Professionals Engineering Management Program, you must have an undergraduate degree in a science or engineering field, a minimum of 2 years relevant full-time work experience, a detailed professional resume, and be accepted into both the engineering management program and your selected specialization track. We have a rolling admission, so you can apply anytime and start any semester, fall, spring, or summer. Next slide, please. Let us help prepare you for leadership roles in your technical organization. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Rick. That was wonderful. All right. Next up, we have Tufts University, and we have Nancy from Tufts talking us through their program.
Thank you for joining us. My name again is Nancy Bushko. I'm the Director of Admissions here at the Tufts Gordon Institute, which is actually the home for innovation, entrepreneurship, and engineering management across the entirety of Tufts University. Next slide, Rutu. So let me give you a quick high-level snapshot of the overall concept of our program. So our program is designed for working professionals with at least 2 years of work experience who really do want to be leaders in today's tech-driven world. And it is fully flexible, part-time program that can be completed in an asynchronous fashion, 100% online. So it's really designed for people who want to stay in the workforce, apply what they're learning in the classroom, in the virtual classroom, to their job. And what we are really focusing on with our program is a personalized approach to online learning. And I'll explain what that means in a moment. Rutu? So we have been delivering, we're one of the first engineering management programs actually in the country. It's been over 30 years that we've been offering the MS and engineering management program on campus. And this online program we are launching in January of 2020, so just a few months from now. And we have built the entirety of our online program based on our history, our track record of success with the on-campus program. And there are certain pillars that we build the foundation of our online program that come directly from our on-campus values. And that is, we provide a practical program. This is based on information you can learn in the virtual classroom today and apply it the next day on the job. Also, 100% of our faculty have industry experience. So these are people who've lived through the challenges of being engineering leaders in tech companies, and they bring that experience to the classroom. And we have had tremendous success with our on-campus program in terms of the return on investment that people get. Over half of our students are promoted even before they graduate from the program and receive significant, not only promotions, but experience tremendous mobility in their careers, moving to different job functions, as well as different companies and different industries. And again, like everybody here, we feel proud that this degree is being awarded. It's the same degree that you get on the on-campus, no difference at all, from a top-tier university with about 5,000 graduate students, 5,000 undergraduates. We are really a really top-tier university and feel proud that we're able to offer that to our online community. Next slide, Rutu. So let me say a little bit about what our philosophy is and what our mission is here. We're not just about delivering online courses and having you build knowledge which stays in your head. Our whole focus is about building competencies. And that means, what do we mean by competencies? On this slide, we're showing you the 4 competencies that we believe are critical for leaders in today's tech-driven world. And all of these competencies are built because you learn something, you practice it through the virtual community, and then you apply it in your job. And our curriculum has a tremendous focus on leadership development, and you'll see that momentarily as well. Next slide, Ritu. So the program structure is designed to be completed part-time in 2 years, but completely flexible so that you can take up to 4 or 5 years if you really needed to. It's 32 credits broken down into half of it being a core curriculum, 2 integrated milestone projects, and then the remainder of the curriculum in elective courses. We haven't defined specific tracks for you because we believe wholeheartedly that you have the opportunity to select courses across the entire Tufts University: arts, sciences, engineering, Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy in terms of international business, so that you can pick the courses which best meet your personal and career goals. Next slide. So this shows you the actual courses that you're taking, designed to build your strategic skills, your leadership skills, your financial literacy, as well as understanding your customer needs. That's the core curriculum part 1. From that, you cannot move on in the program until you complete an integrated virtual team project, which requires you to apply the skills you're learning in a virtual team, which really mimics today's workplace. And what's really great about the way our core curriculum is structured is it's built on a series of 7-week short courses. So you're committing to these 7-week time blocks, which are sort of rigorous, intensive, short courses, which will consist of a very personal experience. So the faculty will be delivering short video segments that will be integrated with discussion boards and threads. The faculty will have online office hours where you can individually have personal dialogues and exchanges with the faculty member. And we believe this is really important. And in the first semester, the leadership course, you will have one-on-one coaching sessions with our leadership faculty. And that's part of our personalized approach. Then after completing the milestone project, you will go on, complete another series of 4 7-week short courses, and then a capstone leadership project that will be done in the context of your own company. Next slide. And so from here, we really want to encourage you to our applications are open now. We're still accepting on a rolling basis applications for the January semester. If you're not ready for January, you can begin the program in September. The requirements are fairly straightforward. You do not require the GRE, just your transcripts, 2 letters of recommendation, and a personal statement. and the application fee, which for people who actually reach out to us directly and either watch the online session or attend a webinar that we host live, we will waive that application fee for you as well. So want to really encourage people to reach out to me directly. My name and contact info will show up at the end of this session. We conduct one-on-one admission chats and welcome the opportunity to answer any additional questions you have about the program. Thanks very much.
Perfect. Thank you, Nancy. And as I mentioned before, I'll be sharing the slides, so you will have contact information for all the presenters in your inbox. Next up, we have Giza from University of Southern California to talk about the USC's MEM program.
Hi, everyone. As you can see from the first slide, I'm from the University of Southern California. And we are located, let me have the next slide, Rutu. Okay, we are the oldest private university in the West. We're date from 1880. We're a very large school. We have almost 50,000 students, almost 30,000 graduate students, and 4,000 some odd full-time faculty. And we are located in the center of a 10 million population center and one of the largest ports actually in the world, although we don't compete with Singapore or some of the Chinese ones. Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, we are actually inside an academic department in industrial and systems engineering, and there are 7 other departments in the Viterbi School of Engineering. As you can see, we're well over almost 200 tenure track faculty, about 250 total faculty. And we have 76,000 engineering alumni all around the whole world. Next slide, please. Okay, that's me. And I'm actually a graduate of USC, although my graduate degrees are all in mechanical engineering. And I spent 34 years of industry, and this is my 30th year at USC, and I've been leading the engineering management program for the last 11 years. Next slide, please. Okay, so our program is somewhat cohort directed, but it does combine both the distance and the on-campus cohorts. As you will see when I talk about the distance program features, the two are closely intertwined. We do accept recent bachelor graduates, and the point for them is that they are preparing to be eventual managers, and they get to be mixed in with working engineers and also managers who probably have been a manager for years but want to enhance their skills through this particular program. Next slide, please. Okay, to briefly run through our program, it's a 30-unit program, and we have 4 basic core courses that are required. So you learn the decision-making in statistics, project management, how to lead and manage engineering teams, and understand the finances of your organization and of engineering projects. We have an analytics area, so you choose an analytics class, the hottest topic these days, so a wonderful introduction and beginning to be in that area. And technology area in terms of innovation and new product development. And finally, we also separate into 5 different tracks, but I really want to concentrate on the fact that we have a custom track that you and I can put together so it forms a viable, cohesive core, and you have access, as one of the other programs mentioned, to the law school, to the public policy, and to the business school. I failed to mention earlier that the engineering school is actually rated in the top 10 in the country, and our distance program that's all across the whole engineering, has been rated #1 in the country for many. Well, we've been in the business of distance education for 45 years, so we have developed a technology that you'll see in a few minutes. Next slide, please. So these are the details for our tracks: management, analytics, innovation, and supply chain operations. Currently, the supply chain option seems to be and so analytics are the two most popular, because, well, there's lots of jobs out there in both of those, and our students want to take advantage of that. And I would say 1/3 of our students actually do the custom program, and I work closely with them to develop a very cohesive program that suits their particular needs. Next slide, please. We also offer dual degrees, which is a terrific deal, because instead of 60 units for 48 units, you get both an engineering management degree and also a degree in your chosen field amongst those 4 fields that are shown there. And all these programs are available online as well as on campus. Next slide, please. Okay, so what do our students do? Well, mostly they study, but they also enjoy the Los Angeles area. We have very active student organization called the Engineering Management Student Association that has mixers and talks by prospective employers, and also tutorials that they organize throughout the semester. As far as graduates, of course, most of the distance students return to their own companies, and the on-campus students in general will go to just about every field, although there tends to be a concentration into supply chain and into consulting. Next slide, please. Okay, we require that you have an undergraduate degree, engineering, math, art, science, although we look at all applications. So if you happen to be coming from sociology with a strong math background, we are happy to have you as well. Okay, your GPA should be around 3, a 3 or better. We do require a GRE that's less than 5 years old, and a resume, and recommend supplemental materials, but the statement of purpose is actually required. And if you're an international student, you do need to take the TOEFL. Next slide, please. Okay. Our deadlines are, the spring has already passed, but as you'll see on a subsequent slide, we do accept students who are not admitted but taking classes, and you then can process your application. And then if you're successful in your classes, you're likely to be admitted, although there's no guarantee for admittance for that. And the fall, the deadline is actually coming up in January, but we encourage people to apply as early as possible. Okay, we do have some online scholarships available, and for those, the deadline is December 15th. Okay, as indicated on the bottom, if you're a distance student, you can generally have a deadline extension for applications. Next slide, please. Okay, so our courses are delivered together. So the way this actually works is, and I teach in the program, so obviously I'm very familiar with it. We have a technician in the classroom, behind the classroom, who organizes the microphones, switches cameras as required, and it's recorded. And so if you're a distance student, you're welcome to join through WebEx. The classroom is equipped with microphones so we can hear your questions, and you can obviously hear our answers or what the other students are actually saying. But there's no requirement to be synchronous, so you can watch any time that you really want, and you can watch as many times as you need to during the semester. Okay, as it says here, most of our students take 1.5 to 2 years if they're full-time. The online ones many of them go out as far as 5 years, mostly because of tuition reimbursement from companies who will not reimburse sufficient amounts per year for you to complete it. So sometimes it takes a little bit longer. Next slide, please. So We've been using web-based for quite certainly since I started teaching in the program, which goes back to before 2000. Before that, we used to have closed circuit TV, and so we've been doing this for almost 50 years, 50 years now. And fortunately, recently I've had most of the distance students actually be in on WebEx, which means at least I get to know their voices and they get to hear me real time. And we arrange for practice testing, so your experience is pretty much essentially the same as an on-campus student, except you're physically not here. Next slide, please. I'll skip through this one because basically all it says is that there's no difference between the two programs except how long it actually takes you to do that. Next slide, please. Okay, so here's a view from the technician's point of view. You can see the back, and you can see the triple screen in the front, and so it's very helpful to have somebody out there who will, you know, switch from an electronic board to your laptop to anything you write on a piece of paper in front of you, and of course all of that is recorded and available later on, and actually available to the on-campus students after it has been published the following day. Next slide, please. Okay, so I think I pretty much said all these things, but you can call in and or you can just speak up, whichever way that you're doing it, or come in through WebEx and see. And we can set up video conferencing for advisement, and we can also share desktops if you desire. Next, please. Okay, so there's no difference in the degrees, as I think Nancy pointed out in theirs as well. So it's exactly the same diploma. Next, please. Next, there we go. Okay, so so it is a limited status. So if you want to start right away, you can do so, and then get your application processed if you're beyond the application deadline. And we also have tuition deferment. If we know your company is going to be reimbursing you, we can defer the payment of tuition, so you can actually pay when you get the money from the company. Okay, next, please. Okay, our tuition is around $2,000 a unit. The program is actually 30 units, so we're talking about $60,000. And there's plenty of more information on the website, on the internet, as you can see at the bottom. Next slide, please. Okay, so here where you should apply, and I think, is that my last slide, Rutu?
I don't know, but I think so. I'm not sure, Giza. I can't see that.
I don't. No, we don't. Okay, so thank you very much for listening, and I hope you are interested in our program. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Giza. That's the contact information.
Oh, that was the last, right?
You will have that in your inbox, and you can email Giza or the Den address at Viterbi if you have any more questions. We have some time for questions. So if there are any questions from the attendees, I suggest you use the raise your hand feature, or you can also type your question in the chat box, and I can read it out for everybody to answer. All right, so there is one question, and some of the schools talked about it, but being distance students, are your students mainly looking to grow within the organization, or do you also offer support for students who want to move jobs, so like career development resources?
Okay, well, I guess I can answer that. I think that the vast majority of our distance students are being supported by their companies, so they tend to go back to their companies, whatever the relationship happens to be with them. Um, we do have distance students who are self-financed, and of course they may or may not change jobs. The vast majority of our on-campus students do get internships. Because we're in a very large metropolitan area, there are lots and lots of opportunities, both with large and small companies, to have internships.
Perfect.
Ruth,
I
to
can
this,
add,
Lisa,
I was going to say that this is Rick. Let me add to that. Our students are all working professionals, and so they are working full-time while they are taking our part-time online program. I would say the majority of them are looking to either move up in their organization or to have an opportunity to advance within their or a similar industry. Having said that, students do have access to the career placement services of Johns Hopkins University, and some of them do choose to take advantage of that.
perfect.
Let's the same with Tufts too. As a student, it's similar where you have full access to all the resources. You're treated just like an on-campus student in terms of your access to the Career Center and other things, which many programs may offer that.
Cool.
Yeah, the
Lisa,
same is true for Duke. So in most cases, our students are looking to level up in their current organization, but on occasion we have individuals who want to reinvent in some way. Many of our individuals who come from the military are thinking about life, civilian life, and life beyond their service, and so they may or may not be clear on how they want to pivot. And in other cases, the network, the community that we engender supports changes, maybe even before people are looking for them. So there are times where we have people who come to residency too, who have new opportunities. So even before the degree is completed. So I think the same is true for us. We do have a dedicated career services director who supports our distant students, and our students have access for 4 years beyond graduation to career services as well.
oh, great.
I don't know if I have anything to add to that. We offer all of the same things. There's one new platform that was recently released for both our on-campus and DL students called CU eLinks. And it's a great way to connect with alumni who can also offer support. It's everything from, posting a question like, can I find somebody to read my resume, to, like, does anybody have a connection at this company or that company? So that's a new tool that's available to Cornell students.
Perfect. Do we have any more questions? If not, I say thank you so much for taking the time and joining us for this information session. Hopefully you got information what you were looking for. If not, these are the contact addresses on your screen, and I will send the slides over so you will have you'll have them in your inbox, and you can reach out to each of the programs individually with your questions. Thank you. A big thank you to our panelists for taking the time and giving us an overview of your program. Thank you very much. MEMPC is organizing one more info session coming up next week, and that's for students with more than 2 years of work experience. So if you're interested in it, please visit mempc.org/events and sign up for it. And we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Take care.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye. You too. Bye-bye.